Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lindsay and I have a custom Shabby Chic junk journal to share with you today. This was a custom order and it has a tassel and it was a lot of fun to make. I posted a couple of process pictures in my Facebook group, Nevermore Creations, Junk Journals and Friends. So go over there and join that if you'd like to see what I'm working on a day-to-day basis. And there's freebies and giveaways and all sorts of fun stuff like that. You can post things you're working on, ask questions, all that sort of fun stuff. So let's get into this. This is a 2-inch spine recycled cereal box journal. I have book corners, metal book corners on it. It is covered in wallpaper. There's lots of stitching and sewing. Here's a little metal stamped piece that says sweet. Look at how gorgeous. I didn't want to cover up much of this because it was so pretty. There's 3 signatures, 120 pages. Let's take a look at this tassel. It is attached to this eyelet with a safety pin, and there's a little like bauble here, and that can come right off. And I love the colors in this tassel. Let's see if we can actually look at it. Look at it. There's all sorts of ribbons and trims in here. There's pieces of like junk jewelry from, you know, big tangled messes that you get like at Goodwill. Look at how pretty and delicate that is. I have that hanging. Here's a heart charm, if you can see that. There's this piece. That's a piece of junk jewelry. I don't know if it came from like a bracelet or something, but I added that. There's a purple bead. There's some little beads hanging off of that piece. So I love this tassel. And then this you could do with or without a closure. I just tied this on, you know, you can take it right off. And then you can see poking out here a little bit of a doily, and we'll get to that next. So when we open up, I left the recycled cardboard on the inside because I love the recycled look. This is an actual vintage doily I got from Pop-Up Vintage. I ordered from them on Instagram. It's pop-up_vintage. She finds amazing vintage finds. Her prices are incredible. I want to say this doily is from the 40s, 1940s. It could be the 60s, but I'm about 80% sure it was the 1940s. And she, I think I only paid $1 for it, but I've been saving it for a very special project because I love it. And as you can see, it goes all the way through the spine and onto this side. So gorgeous texture. It's amazing to hold something, you know, 80-ish years old, beautiful. So that's what the inside is. And then I used a lot of Shabby paper digital downloads from VectoriaDesigns. They're almost like a wallpaper, like a Shabby Chic wallpaper. So on the first page here, we have some tags, a little stamp tag, and then a vocabulary card. We have a paint chip card in pink. She wanted pink Shabby Chic, so there's a lot of pink in here. And there's some dyed paper there on the back. Here's a little extra clip there. This is from a book on rugs, different rugs. And I washi taped it to another page so that it would stand upright and you could see the whole rug. I added some trim there and a little collage there. It's another Shabby paper. I think this is from a Graphics Fairy, I want to say. And I backed it with some packaging that had doily prints on it. Some doilies that I copy dyed from Junk That Treasures. There's 3 different ones for a total of, what? I can't even, 6, 12, something like that, pages. I really made these pages super shabby, super distressed, and I did that by printing it on just 20-pound copy paper. This is actually, I want to say it's from Gemmed Snails on Etsy, and it was like a Marie Antoinette set of papers, and I printed 2 from that set because I really wanted these shabby roses. And when I print them on the light paper and then I spray them with coffee and different dyes, there's pinks and there's blue and green spray dyes, plus the coffee, the very light 20-pound paper, it soaks through. And you can kind of see it through on the other side with the dyes. It makes it super aged and vintage looking. Every page looks different, and then I stack them up to dry so it kind of bleeds through. Favorite new technique. I'm going to be doing a video on that hopefully soon because it comes out different every single time. So here we have some washi and trim and a little perpetual calendar. This little collage here is fun because none of it is really connected. There is a vintage decoupage flower, and then there is, I did all the inking in gold. So it's just like a light gold. Here's a little journal thing there, and then a stitch journaling card that I made. So I just layered them all up and clipped them on here. So they can be repurposed throughout the book or left there. Stamping, beautiful laces, vintage dictionary page, more shabby papers. This is also from VectoriaDesigns, and there's a few of them throughout this book, and they're inked in gold, stitched, and then glued on here. So you have journaling space all up here, journaling space all here. You can put a photo or journaling all on here. I have a few quotes throughout, and these are actually my own quotes. And I'm going to also be doing a video on that called You Have Something to Say. And I'm going to teach the writing concept of stream of consciousness and how to come up with your own quotes. It's something I learned and I've adapted from college. I've taken a lot of writing classes. And I'm a little rusty with this whole idea, but I'm going to refine it and do a little mini tutorial on it so you can come up with your own quotes. It is wonderful, in my opinion, when we use quotes from Dickens and from, you know, Tennyson and all these beautiful poets. But we have something to say too. And sometimes we don't realize it till we stream of conscious write it out. I did the stream of conscious kind of in my brain, but it's great when you do it on paper, and I'll be teaching you how to do that. So here we have, please be kind to yourself. There's only one of you. And I inked that up there. Here we have some red paper and a little Tim Holtz Found Relatives and a little flower wallpaper tag right there. Mini tag there, a little washi collage, one of my paper ribbons. Lots going on here. Okay, so here we have a little index card, and then this is from Tsunami Rose, and I turned it into a tuck spot, and there is a little tag tucked in there. Mini paper ribbon on the bottom. Here's another one of my quotes. If only you could see yourself the way others see you, you would know just how much you are loved. And some of these quotes could be very similar to what other people have said, but my quotes that I really wanted to do throughout here were kind of self-love in a healthy way, like not being too hard on yourself, giving yourself an extra chance to make the right decisions, to you know, be a good example. So that's kind of my idea here. Look at that. Look at how that seeped through. This is the back of the paper, guys. There's the front. So gorgeous. Here's a journaling card with some gold rose stamping. More shabby paper. There's the other side of that rug book. And I pinned on a little flower and pearl. Here's a wallpaper corner pocket and tag. Little collage. More shabby paper, and you can see the doily in between the signatures, so that's really neat. Here's a little tuck spot and a little coffee dyed flip up, flip down, and this is from Junk That Treasures. It is a weekly time report, and I stitched around it and added a lace tab. Some more of washi over here. This says, enjoy the little things. That's not one of my quotes. That came in a little ephemera pack I had. So this is a book page from the book The English Park, and clipped on it is just this little journaling spot that I stitched around and added a piece of doily and a button and clipped it up there. Look at, I just had to leave some of these dyed papers because they were so pretty. Here's another shabby paper, and then there's some tulle stitched and glued down there. Here's a little silver doily. You could use that as a top tuck spot. There's another coffee dyed doily. This is from a reprint of a 1909 Sears and Roebuck catalog. And these are like China sets. Here's a little cherry button and book plate die cut. A mini addition card that I stitched lace on and added a garment pin with a sequin and a little pearl bead. There's another little collage up there. Look at that beautiful seeping through and that dyeing. Oh, so pretty. So this is a big lace. You could stick something in here too if you wanted to. It might not hold as well, but stitched lace pocket, and there is a tag and then a vintage game card slipped in there. Here's a little tuck spot with a dictionary tag, and I love how it's all shabby and torn. There's a gold inked flower. I love how this came out. So shabby. lace. Here's another one. Learn something you can share with others every single day. See, our quotes do not have to be super, super poetic. And I'll also teach you something about like blank verse and how that doesn't have to rhyme and sound like a poet to be meaningful and special, and how we can make our own quotes for our books. Because we have something to say, people. We don't always have to copy everybody else. It's good to copy and to bring back the old, but we should also bring in the new in our own voice. Love this little tag, Shabby Tuck Spot. And here's a little journaling card. It actually says December. I didn't pick it because of that, but since December's coming up, that could be nice. Or you could just cover that with some washi or, you know, whatever. Here's another one of these little flip-ups. This I did not make. This is from Jessica over at I'm a Cool Mom. She sent it to me with some birthday happy mail, and it's one of like those little vintage spools where you would put thread around, and so she has embroidery thread, and her embellishing and collage is second to none. She is the queen of embellishments, and she sent me two. One I put in my personal junk journal, and this one I'm sharing in this journal because it goes so well. So this is a very special piece. I didn't want to part with it, but I didn't want to hoard, and I wanted someone else to enjoy it. Little journaling card I made. This is a very old book. It's about 100 years old, about music. And so I just washied the two pages together, but this is the actual paper. And then here's another quote, smile and laugh every day. Here's a Tsunami Rose boot, vintage boot, and then a little journaling spot. Some stamping there, and then look at the ink spraying I did on here, coffee and ink spraying. And this says, may joy and gladness be your friends. That's another one of my little quotes. Little teeny cute tag there. This is a vellum, like see-through. It says, this picture is worth 1,000 words. So she could clip a picture behind that if she wanted to. This is a vintage, I want to say it's from like the 40s or 50s, book on learning French, I believe. And so I clipped on a little coffee-dyed stamp tag. Here is a wallpaper tag that I turned into a tuck spot. You can slip photos or other things in there as well. Here's another wallpaper pocket, and then a really pretty gold foiled tag. This is another one of those all clipped together so you can take it apart. There's this little Shabby paper for journaling, and then this is a coffee dyed, could be a corner tuck, journaling, secret journaling, and then a little craft card tag, and then a Tim Holtz vocabulary card that says kind. And I just clipped them all together so they could be moved or kept together however. And here we have a tuck spot with a gold inked rose and some lace there. And look at all the beautiful inking and the stitching. And here's another one of these flip-ups. Famous piano teacher, standard history of music. That's that 100-year-old book. We're almost to the end. Love life and live it to the fullest. There's another one of my little quotes. And I'm not saying I'm the originator necessarily of all these quotes. I like how Solomon says in the book of Ecclesiastes, there's nothing new under the sun. I'm not the first person to say to love life or to live it to the fullest, but it's something that came out of something I wanted to say, and I didn't go look up somebody else's quote. It came from my heart and my mind, so that's how I'm going to teach you how to do that. And like I said, I'm a little rusty. My originality usually flows a little more. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, and some beautiful lace here at the end, my stamp, and that doily. So I went a little overboard on the specialness of this journal. It is for a very special lady who wants to learn how to make junk journals. I believe she's making some for her daughters or granddaughters or someone for Christmas or something like that. And she wanted one shabby chic and pink that she could hold in her hands to get some ideas. And so this is what I came up with, and I hope you love it. I do. I love it. But as always, if you have any problems or suggestions, just message me on Etsy and we will deal with that. And just because I love something doesn't mean that everyone else will. You know, we're all different and we all have different expressions. I hope you enjoyed and you learned from this. I went a little longer than normal, but I have a lot to say. And so look out for a couple of videos coming up. The You've Got Something to Say video, as well as the stacking coffee spray video. Hopefully in the next 2 weeks, I'll have both of those up. So have a wonderful day, my friends.